La 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 Peter Piper. How much wood could a wood? Hi, would you look at that? Global gaslighting, the Mandela Effect. No, I flipped those around. Mandela Effect, global gaslighting. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Hi, my name is Phil Fanstill, and this is the philipfiles, and today we're reopening. That's right, we're reopening the skeptical and investigation of the Mandela Effect. I think there's a lot more to this. Okay, I want to reopen. I think this needs to be reopened. It's not some fringe conspiracy. Maybe it is, but it's really interesting if it is. I mean, I'm going to show you why in this video. But this Mandela Effect is fascinating. First of all, what is the Mandela Effect? Simply put, I'll give you some examples later. The Mandela Effect is where a group of people, a large segment of the population, has a memory of something. Maybe it's a movie, maybe it's a line from a movie, maybe it's an advertising campaign, maybe it's a book, maybe it's something. They have this memory of something or historical event that is different than the historical record. So something's not jiving. My purpose in this video is to get us to reopen the investigation and ask some questions and really open our minds to some different possibilities. So I'm going to propose a different possibility to the Mandela Effect that I have not heard anyone else propose, and I think it's kind of interesting. So. Time is ticking away. Time is ticking. Time is ticking away. I love that song. And we're going to come back to that because I think time has a very interesting role to play in the Mandela Effect. The Mandela Effect is a group of people who have a memory, but it doesn't jive with the historical record. So that's going to be our kind of our framework. Now, the global gaslighting. Let's talk about global gaslighting real quick. Why did I choose global gaslighting? Well, pretty simple. My parents named me Philip Fanstill, and with initials PP, I have to come up with some literary device. Oh, that's not what you're asking. Well, okay. So I like alliterations because, you know, I have to think my name is cool somehow. So Phil Fanstill, PP. But if it's an alliteration, it's a double alliteration. It's PP and Yes, I'm desperate. Okay, what is gaslighting? Well, global. Okay, all right. Gaslighting. Gaslighting it goes back to a play in the 20s, 30s, where this guy, this abusive husband, manipulates reality or manipulates things so to make his wife question her grasp of reality. So the gaslight is there's a gaslight on the stove, and he's tinkering with the gaslight, but then he's saying he didn't, so it's making his wife question whether she turned it off and turned it on. It's basically making her question her grasp of reality. Well, what if the Mandela Effect is something like that? It's a manipulation that's making people question their grasp of reality. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm going with this. That and the time are going to come back together later. Now, some examples of the Mandela Effect. Okay, so I'm going to throw up a series of pictures. Before I do that, the experience I had that kind of made me very curious about this is I experienced this thing. Where I have this recollection, a very strong recollection about a particular thing, and yet the historical record says otherwise. And it's very important to me that this particular thing, I'll just cut to the chase. Chick-Fil-A sandwiches. Oh man, I love Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A is awesome. Growing up, Chick-Fil-A was CHIC-FIL-A. But if you go now, it's with a K. And I remember when I was growing up, I remember my brother who worked at Chick-Fil-A at the Promenade Mall. I remember looking at the package once saying, why don't they have the K? It's chicken-filet. And why don't they have the K? They have a C. And then I remember looking at the package. But now apparently it has a K. Now, if I were the only one to have that memory, okay, you know, maybe I bonked my head, maybe I can't spell. That's actually true. But when a whole bunch of people have that persistent memory of it being spelled at one time with a K, or without a K. Now it's being spelled with a K. This is interesting. And this is not the only example, but I'm going to throw up some quotes here and some pictures, and you decide which one is right. Okay, so as I'm talking, I don't know exactly what I'm going to put up there, but they're going to be up there. Okay, may have some Curious George, may have some quotes, maybe a quote from Snow White, maybe have a quote from Empire Strikes Back, one of my favorite quotes. Okay, so I'm going to put up some different things. All right, so you're picking. Now, which one was it? Was it the ones on the right or the ones on the left? Now, if you chose the right and you're like, okay, Phil, we got you. Well, I played a trick on you. Or actually, I will play a trick on you. I haven't edited this yet. But when you see this, it's not, they kind of rotate back and forth. Now, I start with Chick-Fil-A with a K, and you know that's what the historical record says. So if you chose all the ones on the right, you're like, okay, these are the right ones, and these the ones on the left are the wrong ones. Yeah, you just got played. You just got played. Oh, homie, don't do that. Okay, so, yeah, actually I went back and forth. So I'm not going to tell you which ones they are, just kind of mess you up. Go watch it again. See which ones you think are correct. And then go check it out. Okay, so test yourself. The conventional wisdom, this is a false memory. Now this is problematic for a couple reasons. One, I was researching last night the Mandela Effect, and when I typed in Mandela Effect in Wikipedia, my research journal of note, it redirected me to false memories, which I found very curious. Which is why I want this to be reinvestigated. I want us to reopen this and look at this with an honest, skeptical mind. But let's open up, let's expand the frame of reference here. A lot of people, we're trapped in these little boxes of our understanding. Well, this makes sense to me, so I'm just going to stay here. Okay, well, let's expand. Okay. So when I was at a little burger place, and I was researching, I got stood up. No, it was business guy, he just forgot he was supposed to meet me there. Anyway, it's okay. I got over it. But, so I was at this burger place, eating a burger. Crying in my soup. Actually, I didn't have soup, so I was crying in my burger. But and I was thinking about this Mandela Effect. So as I was researching this, it says basically false memory. False memories are, and you can be manipulated. So people can make power of suggestion. So if I'm a police investigator, and I'd say, okay, what shade of blue was the wallet? All right, that's a classic example of I'm implanting the idea that the wallet was blue. Okay, right. Or how short was the man? So I'm implying, I'm getting you to think that he's short. Or how tall was he? So by the question, the word you choose, you're influencing the outcome. Okay, and so this is very common in wording and interrogations and all this. But when it comes to the Mandela Effect, so they put the Mandela Effect under false memories in Wikipedia, so they redirected. So they're influencing the conversation. So they didn't put Mandela Effect, conspiracy, or they didn't even have its own. They plugged it underneath false memories. So they're yeah, they're burying the lead. And I've seen a lot of people do this. My brother actually did this to me, and I forgive him. But my brother Sam, whom I love. And we've had many conversations, but I was trying to tell him about my theory, which I'm going to tell you about the Mandela Effect. I was trying to tell him this past Thanksgiving when he was in town, and he totally shot me down. He didn't even listen to me. I was like, so this is my comeback. So hi, Sam. All right. So I'm making this video for Sam and for all the other skeptics. I encourage okay. But wait till I actually explain my theory before you shoot me down. Okay? Don't shoot me down first. I don't mind getting shot down. I don't really like it, okay? But I like to actually be heard out, and ask some questions. Questions are good. Curiosity. Okay. So my brother actually gave me this book. Actually, I think I borrowed it and never returned it. But anyway, hey Sam, you want your book back? Here it is. It's by, there's my brother's signature. So, Physics of the Impossible. Now, this doesn't really talk about the Mandela Effect, but it does say that time travel is actually possible. Now, I have a number of movies here that get into time travel. So, the conventional wisdom with Mandela Effect is that it's false memories. Okay. Now, another kind of alternate one that people are proposing is that we're switching from alternate universes. We're multiple universes, so we're going from one universe, we're kind of flipping back and forth. I don't really buy into the multiple universe stuff, personally. I do find time travel to be the likely culprit, okay, or time manipulation, actually, probably time manipulation would be the thing. I encourage you, approach this with an open mind, ask questions, ask me some questions below, and if I get a lot of kind of feedback, I will do another video and answer some of those, or take some of the thoughts you guys have and kind of go with this. So this is kind of the opening investigation, the opening salvo in the Mandela Effect, global gaslighting.